Tie Granny here. I'm gonna do some reverse tie-dye today on some black t-shirts for the guys, and I'm gonna use some new fiber reactive dyes that I got from Dharma Trading Company. I got like 8 different colors to choose from, and it's quite a process because we gotta get the t-shirts wet and then roll them and rubber band them and then take them out and bleach them in the sun. And then we have to soak them in peroxide water and several other steps before we actually get to the dyeing process. So I'm going to try to capture all of that on video today, and then we'll see what we end up with. We'll start in the middle, remembering to put the shirt upside down so that we get that real nice swirl in the front of the t-shirt. And it is wet. The more water that's left in the material, the more your colors are just going to spread and run into each other. So you want them wet, but not soaking wet. Remembering to take some time and make some nice pleats in there where the material is gathering. This is an extra large shirt, so it's going to be a little on the bigger side as we gather it all together. Thank you for taking her out. Mr. Clark got his second COVID shot today, so he's a little bit under the weather. Aren't you, mister?
Just a little bit.
Little bit. This is day 2 of his COVID shot, so it's to be expected. Okay, so there's our first shirt tied up, and I'm going to go and tie up the rest of them, and I'll be back. This t-shirt here is a little bit different because it's a 50-50 blend. But I like that it's really nice and soft. So I'm going to see how it looks after the bleaching process and the tie-dye process. Because if it looks nice, I'm going to keep using them. It's a nice it's a nice t-shirt. These are actually the ones that I sent to Killian when he was on deployment, that he liked to work out in. Made in the USA! Says so on the tag. Cool. Craig Industries, Lamar, South Carolina. All right, South Carolina, let's see what you got. Let's see if we can tie-dye this baby. Okay, so these, as you can see, are bleaching really nice. This is the front side of it that's already been in the bleaching process for a little bit. And unfortunately, this softy t-shirt is not bleaching very well. It's gone from black to gray. So we're just going to continue with it, see what happens. I'm going to add a little more bleach to that side. Okay, so I don't have the best setup in the world, but this is my 2X that is now soaking in peroxide water, and that is to stop the bleaching process. And then I have the other smaller ones soaking in here. All right, so it's been 20 minutes that this has been soaking. I'm gonna empty them all out. Then I have to get as much water out as you can. This is that softy t-shirt that turned gray. And this is my twirl is starting to get a little bit messed up. I gotta see if I can fix it. Okay, so the next process is this ash bath that the garments have to go into. So I've got a gallon of water, even though it looks like more than a gallon. I measured it out, and I'm gonna put 1 cup of this soda ash in there. And this is just to help these particular dyes adhere to the material. It's supposed to help them. So I'm going to put all of the t-shirts in here because it says with this gallon of soda ash water, you should be able to soak 10 to 12 adult shirts. I've only got 4 shirts. This is the next step in the process, and they got to soak in here for 20 minutes. So as you can see, this tub is holding 4 t-shirts. I did not bring out the water, the peroxide water. I took them right from the peroxide to this ash, and the ash is in a tub of warm water. So it did specifically say warm water. I'm gonna mix my first of the Dharma dyes, and they recommend that you wear a mask or mixing the soda ash and water, wash, and when you're mixing your dyes. And they said not to use this kind because it does not protect from the particles. It's all I have right now, so I figure it's better than nothing. Got this dye that is fiber reactive dye, and it's what a lot of the people are using out there right now. The tulip became pretty costly, so I don't know if this is a better alternative or not, but we're going to try it. It's just more of a process to get ready. You've already seen what I've done as far as just preparing the fabric for reverse tie-dyeing. I'm going to mix a cup at a time. I don't know if it's going to be too much or too little because I just don't know how far it's going to go, but we're going to start with that. And I need a tablespoon of this urea. You mix it with the dye. 1 tablespoon of the urea. And you do mix that with hot water. So I have seen those little hand mixers that they have. I think I'm gonna get one of those. It might save a little bit of time. I don't know, but these little beads have to dissolve, I think. And then the first dye that I'm gonna mix is this grape. And it calls for 2 teaspoons, 1 tablespoon of urea for 2 teaspoons of dye. So there's 1. Whoa. I hope I don't splash on my shirt. 2. That is really, really purple. Look at how purple that is. Lord have mercy. I got a feeling that a little bit of dye is going to go a long way. Definitely. Okay, so there's our purple. I went back and I Googled it because I didn't know if I had to rinse the ash out. And it doesn't say anything about rinsing it out. It just says to wring it. So I'm not going to rinse it out. Just going to try to get as much water as I can out of this. This is the last part before the actual dye goes on. We're getting there, slowly but surely.
So it's going to actually come out ahead.
This is turquoise. Woo-wee, that is really... I wonder why the yellow was not. That may be one of the colors that you have to add more to, but it did not say on the jar. I read that on the jar, if it has a little asterisk next to the color, that you may have to add a little bit more powder. Orange going in, and it is deep orange. It's going to be a miracle if I don't get any of this dye on me. Nice turquoise in there. Just keep rotating the colors. Let's fix that. There's a lot of layers under there. One that pours out. So far, so good. Those colors looking pretty good. Looks like I'm gonna have plenty of dye to do all 4 shirts. Not even worried about it. I don't have a whole lot of hope for this softy t-shirt, even though it's taken the color. I think it's going to be too dark. So this is the last shirt. As you can see, we've got a lot of dye left. This here is not a case of using too much dye. This is from not bringing out all the water, which it's hard for me anyway to try to get out all the water by hand. That's why I use this rack, so that it's not laying in that water. It's going to create more water as it sits in the bag, but there's just nothing you can do about that. Okay, so it's time to look at what we did yesterday. I've been really nervous about it because I put a lot of work into it, you know. It was like a 3-hour process. Rinsing with cool water, and then as the colors start to run out and the water starts to run clear, we'll change it to cold water. But this is a synthropol that you wash it, and it helps to hold the color so that it doesn't bleed onto your other clothes. But as a safeguard, I would continue to wash any tie-dye separately from any other clothes for the first few washings anyway. Okay, so here is the finished product on that reverse tie-dye that I did. This t-shirt right here is at Softy 50/50 blend, made in the USA. And it did not bleach like the other ones did. It bleached a light gray. It went from black to light gray, but it's really a nice soft t-shirt, and I rather like it. I mean, the colors, I'm happy with the way the colors came out, really. I think that they could have been more vibrant for sure. And it may have been the fact that I didn't get all of the water out. I have a hard time wringing out all the water, so a lot of it is still left in the shirts when I go to dye them. So that could have something to do with how the dyes adhere to the material. And these are just the Gildan brand. The same here. The colors are kind of muted. I would have liked them to be a little bit more vibrant, but you know, it's the first time. So I'm just gonna keep going with it. You can actually see the purple here. This is Tom's shirt. So I hope Tom likes it. My son-in-law, I made that for him. For the most part, I would say that this is a success in that reverse tie-dye with those Dharma dyes. Definitely worth the money, and a little bit goes a long way. I actually had a lot of dye left over that I used up. I wanted to see what the colors were by themselves. I wanted to try to get a feel for the actual color. So I did this green, which is really, really pretty, and this right here, just to show a few of the different designs that we did. This one's, all of my tank tops already have retired granny logos on them. So there's the purple and the red. There is a red, white, and blue. And I'm really happy that my white actually stayed white with this one, because when I tried the red, white, and blue, or when I tried the RIT dye, it actually turned all of my white pink. So over here, at least the white held, which I'm really happy of that. But over here, it did not. It looks like it has a tint of blue to it. It could have come off one of the other shirts. I'm not sure. There's that. So yeah, the next process is going to be to put all these tops on Etsy and see if anybody is interested in a retired granny original tie-dye shirt. I really like the colors. I really like that Dharma dye. It's really nice. Here's Mom's favorite color, green. I made this for Dessa. I'm going to put something on it for her too, some kind of a little design in here in the middle. Okay, so there you have it, my take on the Dharma dyes. And I'm sure we'll be doing some more in the coming days. Thank you for watching my video.